Morning, everybody. Thanks for those of you that were able to join us, and for those that are not, appreciate you listening on a recording. The whole purpose behind this webinar is just to give you some ideas if you do sign up for Day on the Hill, what you should expect, especially for those that haven't been before. One of the things that we've heard in the past is, wow, I would have come to this before, but I didn't know what it was. So until somebody drugged me to the Day on the Hill or guilted me into going or something like that, I never really wanted to go. So the idea today is just to kind of fill you in on some of the things that are going to be happening, what to expect. Joining me on the call today, besides our executive director, Caleb Perry, are our current president, Brenda Eckert, and our past president, Barry Delp, who will also be working on advocacy this year and then taking over that role more fully next year. So as we're going through some of our agenda, they may pop in and out to add comment or context or something like that. But just understand that this will be about 20-25 minutes, just trying to bring you up to speed on some of the things that we are doing and why we're doing. So why go to Day on the Hill? Well, NAIFA is the premier advocacy organization for financial advisors like yourself. And if you aren't attending these types of meetings and getting face time with your legislators, that means they're talking to somebody else. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad that they're talking to somebody else, but somebody else may have agricultural interests or banking interests or healthcare interests. And not that those things aren't important to you or important to me, but if we're concerned about our profession and making sure that our clients have all the advantages available to them as possible, you need to be there for that. And if you're not able to be on Day on the Hill, then we're going to need you to do some advocacy work behind the scenes, writing letters, sending emails, making phone calls that day. You don't have to spend the whole day doing it, but we'd like some support on the backside, and we'll send out some instructions related to that and how best to support Day on the Hill if you're not actually able to attend. But let's just assume that you're a motivated advisor, you really care about your clients, and you like making a difference in your industry to make sure your business is protected and you can enjoy as much free time and make as much money as possible while taking care of all of the people that you take care of. That's what Day on the Hill is all about, and it's giving you the face time to do that. So first off, the dates: February 19th, which is President's Day. That's a Monday. The markets are closed. So you have the day off. But if you're a NAIFA member, we all know that we really never take a day off. Every day is a day to advocate for this profession and for your business and for your clients. So great opportunity to get to Des Moines. I'm not sure if Kayla can flash this up here. Maybe I can grab it if I can share my screen. Give me a second here. Here we go. So if you go to the Iowa NAIFA website, you can see here's our upcoming event, the NAIFA Legislative Reception Day and Day on the Hill, the 19th and 20th. In order to go to that, you do have to register. So you're going to click on this link. It's going to take you to a different page so that you can register. And it looks like we've got Barry, I'll have you put that in later. Did you put in the link for that FSA badge? Maybe you can do that while I'm talking about this. So here's the legislative reception, which is at the AC Hotel. If you're not in the Des Moines area like me, I'm driving a couple hours from Marion, so I'm coming the afternoon of the 19th because we also happen to have a state board meeting that day, and then afterwards we'll be staying overnight at the AC Hotel after the reception. So the reception is going to be from 5 until 7. And anybody that registers is welcome to attend. Anybody that does not register that's a NAIFA member will need to register and pay in order to attend. The reason that we ask our members to pay is not to just charge them extra fees, but just make sure that we get a commitment from you that you're going to be there. Last year, we had, I think it was 50 or 60 NAIFA members, and then we asked legislators to RSVP. Well, some of them did, but the majority of people that did come last year that were legislators showed up at the last minute. So we want to make sure that we've got enough food and beverages and bartenders and servers and stuff. So if you're going to come, register early, get your fee paid. And then if you're coming from out of town, we'd highly encourage you to stay at the AC Hotel. That allows us to either continue the cocktail reception beyond 7 o'clock, or we'll all go out to eat and kind of talk about NAIFA stuff, trade war stories, and then talk about the next day. So the next day, we are going to have our kickoff meeting, and that's going to be on February 20th. So the very next day on Tuesday, registration actually starts at 8:30, and we're going to start our program at 9. And that program is going to run from 9 until noon, including a lunch. So you'll have lunch while we're having our meetings, and then we'll take a bus over to the Capitol. So here's your registration form. Dietary restrictions. Unfortunately, I'm not on a diet, so I should probably just not order a lunch, but I'm going to eat anyway. And if we want to take a look at kind of what our agenda is coming up here, let me switch over to that. So here's our agenda. So you're going to have Tweedledee and Tweedledum. That'll be Barry and myself. I'll be the Tweedledum. He'll be the Tweedledee. You can kind of see what we've got going on. We'll have some announcements the first part of the meeting. Brenda will also probably be taking care of some of those duties too as our fearless leader. But you can see here, this is a new addition. At 9:15 to 9:30, we're going to hear from our state insurance commissioner. He is committed to speaking to us that morning for about 15, maybe 20 minutes. And then we're going to hear from our on-the-ground advocacy team, or our lobbyists that are located there in Des Moines. Kind of tell us a little bit about what they're working on and what to expect from this session, maybe even recount some of the wins that we had from the previous year. Then we'll talk a little bit about PAC. I mean, I can't personally get through a meeting without talking about PAC, so we'll hit on that a little bit. Probably we'll end up giving out the awards for those people that won the drawing, that made their contributions there at the end of the year. We had a little contest going that involves some giveaways and stuff. So we'll draw those names and probably present those at that time as well. We'll also talk a little bit about social media. Probably going to end up having Josh Herbst from Dubuque take a turn at the microphone and talk about his success with his clients and prospects, getting information up on LinkedIn. Several of us put information out on Facebook and Twitter and some of those, but Josh in particular has had a lot of success connecting with clients and prospective clients on LinkedIn. So he can kind of talk about how that works. Then as we kind of skip down the board here, you can see we'll talk a little bit. Looks like I got to fix my typo there. Not being the Iowa State grad that I am, wasn't able to spell profile. But we'll take you through the advocacy and PAC website so you can kind of see what's going on there. Then we'll take a break, grab our lunches, and then we'll talk about some other housekeeping items related to both Lily as well as delivering PAC checks to candidates. As everybody knows, for those of you that went to the caucus like I did, we are going to have an election in 2024. And that's going to include, from the state side of things, 25 of our state senators and all 100 of our House members are up for re-election next year. So we're going to have a bunch of PAC checks to deliver all across the state. It's going to be another opportunity for you to advertise your business, advertise to your clients that you're engaged in being a financial advisor, and more than just being a financial advisor, an advocate for your clients. And that's one way to do that, is delivering those PAC checks and making relationships with legislators. So once those things, we get through those items, then we're going to gather up, get on the shuttle bus that we've rented, take everybody over to the Capitol. It appears that this year it will not be 55 or 60 degrees like it has been the last couple of years. So we're going to leave that shuttle bus around for the day, and that'll bring us back and forth from our meeting site to the Capitol and then return. Once we get inside, we'll meet at the Battleship. We'll get a picture of everybody on the Capitol steps inside, not outside, inside the Capitol. We'll get a picture of everybody so that we can put it in our magazine and advertise it at all our events. And then we'll be assigning meetings for everybody with the with the help of our lobbyists, Scott Weiser and Brittany Lumley and others. These are, I don't know that these are necessarily confirmed completely, but you can just see from basically 1 to 3 o'clock, we'll be in meetings. You won't necessarily be at all of those, but the expectation is if you're there, you'll be in either 2 or 3 of those meetings with people from both parties, leadership from both parties. Then once those meetings are done, instead of our traditional ice cream social, which we've had for a number of years, we switched to that legislative reception. So we'll be done at 3, maybe 3:30 at the latest. We'll get you back to your cars and get you on your way home. So that's kind of the agenda for the day. Questions that we often get. So for the evening reception, what do I need to wear? Is not black tie. There's no tuxedos. You can wear a suit if you want. Barry Delp will wear a suit. Brenda Eckert will probably wear a suit. Those guys are well dressed. I'll be in my normal collared shirt and jeans, which is part of my uniform on a daily basis. My big thing since joining NAIFA is I think people should be comfortable. Whatever you would normally wear to work is what you should wear to the reception and what you should wear to the Capitol. A lot of people feel more comfortable wearing, a dress and a jacket, or a jacket and a tie. Whatever you're comfortable wearing, that's great. Let's keep in mind though too, it is February. So if you're not coming the night before and you're driving in, I'd rather have you wear something that you're comfortable driving across the state in. And if God forbid you should get stuck, it's easy to get unstuck and not ruin your shoes and your suit and all of that kind of stuff. So don't feel obligated to wear a suit and tie if that's what you're worried about. It's not a big deal. Prefer no ball caps. If you have a mullet, I can't do anything about that. If you want to get your hair cut, good for you. But wearing a ball cap, no. Wearing, I don't know, knee-high boots or something like that, preferably no. Slip on some sneakers or some dress shoes or something like that. But just be reasonable about it. Whatever you would normally wear meeting with a client is probably what you should plan to wear. The reception the night before, excuse me, the reception the night before, great opportunity to just meet and greet, just as if you were going to a Chamber of Commerce, a social event or something like that. That's what we're doing at that congressional reception. You're there to advertise yourself, get to know legislators. Who are they? Where are they from? Do they have kids? Where do their kids go to school? If they don't have kids, do they have hobbies? What things do you have in common with them, even if it's not your legislator? I have a state senator and a state rep. They were not there last year. I'll invite them to this event. They're being invited by NAIFA. I don't expect that they'll be there. Okay, so I'll meet Barry and Brenda's representatives or state senators instead. Or we'll talk to whoever shows up in that regard. I don't recall, maybe Barry, you can chime in on this. I can't remember if the lieutenant governor showed up to this or not, but it wouldn't be a big surprise that the governor or the lieutenant governor may end up popping in for 5 or 10 minutes just to make an appearance. Those things happen on a regular basis. Barry, do you recall?
I don't think Adam was there, but I know that our treasurer was there for most of the evening. The governor didn't make it because she was with Nikki Haley out at the airport. And we had, for the people that weren't with us, they were out at the airport with the governor and Nikki Haley. So I'm just saying it was an awesome event to network, just like you've already outlined, and getting a chance to talk with people that have some similar interests.
Yeah. And Brenda, any comments while I've got the floor open, since I've been hogging it this whole time?
Nope, I just encourage everybody to attend, and if you're a first timer, just reach out, and it'd be great if we could hook you up with somebody that's been there before and just help you with that. We'll be more than happy to do that.
Yeah, that's actually a great point, Brenda. If you haven't been before, or even if you have been, but you'd like to have a wingman or a wingwoman on your team, so you've got a partner. There's plenty of people that have been before that would be happy to kind of take you under their arm and introduce you around, or just have somebody to talk to until you can get in front of a legislator. somebody to sit by at the meeting. Even better if you can find somebody to ride over with. I know that Josh Herbst and Marty and Rod Berger, I think all three are riding over from Dubuque. There might be some other Dubuque folks that are coming over on Tuesday morning. They're not going to be able to make it for Monday night, but they're carpooling. The first several times that I went to this event, I didn't even know what NAIFA was doing. I didn't know what you guys did. I didn't know how you did it. I drove over on my own. And now I have to drive over on my own because nobody wants to ride with me, because then it would be like a 2-hour discussion of PAC and advocacy and stuff like that. But hypothetically, if you had a personality unlike myself, you could have a conversation about all types of stuff with some of your friends if you're coming over from Sioux City or Fort Dodge or Cedar Rapids, Marion, Quad Cities, Dubuque, Muscatine, wherever it happens to be. Feel free to grab somebody, and especially if that somebody has never been before, then good opportunity for you guys to ride over, have a good conversation there and back, and then just have a buddy for the day. There are rooms still available, priced very well. I've got a double, so if somebody's a glutton for punishment and wants to room with me, I'm happy to share that with you, just to help you keep your expenses.
Craig, that today's the last day to sign up to get the discount, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, thank you for that. If that's the case, then
we might extend it. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt though. I mean, the sooner you can get registered, the easier it is for all of us to prepare. So that's kind of the big thing. Other things that you need to be aware of or pay attention to are, we need to make sure that when you're introducing yourself, especially when we're in those legislative meetings with the leadership. So if we go to day 2 here, the legislative meetings, when you're meeting with Zach Walls, let's say, I know he's not the Senate Minority Leader anymore, but I think that's right. I think he changed, but anyway, let's just say you're meeting with Zach. Well, probably want to practice up on this. You're going to need to know your name. You're going to need to know where you're from, and then what do you do for your clients? Are you a health insurance person? Are you a life insurance person? Are you a retirement person? Are you an investment person? Whatever those details are, have those ready, because you're going to get introduced in those meetings. That's going to be the scary part of the meeting for you, is saying your name, where you're from, what you do. If you know how many clients you have, like I have 10 clients, so mine's really easy. But then when I'm next to like Brenda or Barry, they have thousands of clients. So it's kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is. But if you could know those things, that would be really helpful. It just gives the legislator that we're meeting with an idea of how many households you represent. And that's one of the powerful things about NAIFA advocacy. That's part of the why we're doing all of this. We want to get in front of these legislators, let them know who you are, how many people you represent, and the fact that when you call them or email them or you come to Des Moines to meet with them, they're understanding that, wow, when I talk to Bob, when I talk to Mary, when I talk to Brenda, when I talk to Barry, I'm talking to 500 other people. I'm talking to 1,000 other people. I'm talking to 5,000 people. So that's why it's important to show up in Des Moines. Is when we have 25, 50, 100 people in Des Moines, then that's representing, in some cases, 50 to 100,000 Iowans, depending on how many advisors we have in attendance. So,
Craig, one more thing. Don't forget your business cards.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. So yes, if you would, bring 15 or 20 business cards. We'll be giving those out to all of the legislative people that we meet with. But if you're going to go to the reception, there's nothing wrong with handing out your business card. Hi, I'm Craig from Marion. Good to meet you. And here's my card. If you have questions about any legislation or something like that, certainly give me a call or send me an email. But otherwise, let's just get to know one another and become friends. And then it's a lot easier for that person to pick up the phone. Other things that you could consider doing as we're kind of wrapping up here. I think Barry's got it in the chat. Now. There's a link in there where you can get your FSA badge. And all that is, that financial services advocacy badge. It's just some coursework. I don't know. I think 70 to 90 minutes, something like that. It's a couple different modules to go through, some videos to watch, and some questions to ask. I don't know, I think I did mine sometime last year, so it's not fresh on my mind anymore. But we'd like to have everybody complete that that's coming to Des Moines, just because it'll be a way for you to kind of understand a little bit more before you show up what we're going to do about. But just know that when Brenda started as a NAIFA member, when Barry started as a NAIFA member, when I started as a NAIFA member, we didn't have any of these videos or anything like that. A lot of it we just made up at the time. And it's so far it's worked out pretty well, but now we're getting more formalized and giving you a chance to know a little bit more and maybe be a little bit more polished than we were when we showed up to Des Moines to meet these folks. Other things to just be aware of from an issue standpoint, all of that stuff will be laid out for you, and we'll talk to you about that on Tuesday. So we're gonna mainly be talking about the Iowa 529 plan and that expansion, which I just got a copy of that bill today, what the proposed language is to raise the minimum contribution level, deductible contribution level. We'll also be talking with the legislators about continuing to reduce Iowa income taxes to help our clients. So we were already successful in getting that lowered, so our retiree clients stay here in Iowa and they don't move to Florida other than for the weather. Then we'll also probably talk a little bit about expanding the long-term care coverage, how we can get more Iowans involved in purchasing long-term care to protect themselves and stay off of Medicaid. So we'll have some other issues that we'll cover that probably aren't going to be legislative priorities this year, but we will hit on those. The other thing that I would say is if you have a pet issue, I like politics. I have all kinds of pet issues, things that I think legislators should be doing that they aren't doing right now. If it's not a NAIFA issue, it's not an issue for the 19th or the 20th. Okay. You're representing NAIFA. So try and stay on the NAIFA business. And if it's not NAIFA business, you can, just talk about the weather, talk about your favorite sports team or something like that, but try and stay away from things that aren't NAIFA related. And then another day, you're certainly welcome to go back and talk to that legislator about some other issue that's important to you that isn't a NAIFA issue. So just keep in mind, mind your P's and Q's when it comes to that. If it's not NAIFA business, if it's not financial advisor related to your business or your clients, we don't necessarily need to hear about school choice or I don't know what DHS is or isn't doing or other groups. That's not a concern of ours. So we just ask that you keep that to yourself and bring that up when you're not wearing your NAIFA hat. With that, that's all that I can think of for right now. Brenda, do you have anything else that you'd like to add to the conversation before we break up here?
I don't. I just encourage everyone to go if you've never been there. It's an outstanding event. So we look forward to seeing everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Barry, how about you? Anything?
Just wrapping up, saying the things you said, and that is, one, you're not going to go alone. You will not be alone at this event, so you don't have to know all the answers. Just come and join up. The other is, this is a NAIFA event, and so you are not Republican, Democrat, or Independent. You are NAIFA that day. So that's why Craig mentioned the NAIFA issues. And what you learn as a part of this event, you can come back and be effective with your personal issues on another day. But that's really a big emphasis, is that you are neither right nor left nor in the middle. You are NAIFA on this day. And we know that you'll respond in an appropriate way. So make sure that you encourage your local senator, your local House member to join you when you're there, or let them know that you're going to be there and you'd like to talk to them. That's going to be getting a lot out of it. And then the other is with the FSA badge. Listening to Josh, why doing the badge before you get there is it'll prepare you to really get more traction out of your investment of time and treasure into this one day or 2 days if you happen to come over for the day and the night and the next. So just be prepared to get a benefit, because this is not anything more than just good use of the resources, human resources, and building relationships that you can all benefit from.
Great. Well, again, Brenda and Barry, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be a part of this with us. And as Barry said, and Brenda as well, just carve some time out on your calendar. One of these days, you're not even working anyway. It's a holiday. So come to Des Moines, come to the legislative reception. If you can't make it on Tuesday, fine, come Monday. If you can't come Monday, then come Tuesday. The preference would be that if you do come Tuesday, come for the whole day. We really like it when everybody can be together, get a chance to meet our lobbyists, take a look at what our agenda is, kind of work together on some of those things before we head to the Capitol. But if you've got special things going on, please reach out to me personally, craig.adamson@truewealthstewardship.com, or if you need an easier email, craig.adamson@lpl.com. You're also welcome to give me a call. 319-373-4124 is my business phone number. Cell phone number 319-651-6467. Please reach out to me, reach out to Brenda, reach out to Barry, reach out to Kayla, our executive director. Happy to help you out as much as we can to get you there. But appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you in Des Moines. Thank you.